Hey everyone, Shabby Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode of ShabbyTalk. We are back once again, of course, with PJ Tovey.
Hello again.
And we are talking about his favourite subject.
Jinder Mahal.
Yes, I know we've already done a Jinder Mahal episode, but I thought, obviously, with the recent victory, which I must admit, as much as I tried to sell it in my previous video, I did not think it was going to happen. And it happened.
I believe the reaction I felt with Jinder Mahal being champion, I'm sorry to discredit anything that he's done in the past 5 years. I got the feeling when he was champion, it felt like Vince Russo wrote the script. And it felt like David Arquette winning the championship, because it was, you gave it to a guy who had no run, no track record, transferred over to SmackDown in the draft, and just went on this 5-match run to be in the main event. I
tell you what, if you look back at the draft, if you look back at the shake-up now, Jinder Mahal for Kurt Hawkins is looking like a massive steal for SmackDown.
It was. I just don't see how. And I think we've discussed. I think you might have said in your previous video, with Rusev being injured, I don't know if he'd done a no-show. There was a rumor that I'd read on the dirt sheets that he failed to attend a certain taping. I don't know if that's true. It's all rumours. So is he falling out with the company over his marriage with Lana, in the way that it's complicated? You've got to bring your work life and your home life together as one, and it's going to become a stressful time. But it was written in the stars that he was supposed to have that not run and not Jinder. Yeah.
Although I think probably best for the company it was Jinder.
Yeah.
Because you've got that whole massive revenue stream now that's been opened in India, which I'm assuming now over in India they're all queuing up outside the doors to buy the new Jinder Mahal t-shirt, because just like when WWE comes to the UK, people like Finn Balor get a lot more of a reaction because he's the home lad. I said UK this time rather than Britain, because I keep getting told off for that in the comment section.
Although that the UK brand is itself, not to mention the takeover match between Dunn and Bate, which was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
The UK brand is as hottest as it's ever been.
Yeah.
As it's ever been. Now, with Jinder Mahal now being the champion, along with the Singh brothers, India could overtake the UK as the second leading market.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of money.
WWE.
There's a lot of money
just because of this title run. Because when Khali was given the title, he could not wrestle. He was mainly an actor. He was in the longest yard.
I think actor's a very loose term. I saw him in the longest yard.
Obviously, Vince see the size of him and went, we could use you. Wins the Battle Royal and becomes the champion. And when you look at him, and for Taker, he's had to carry many giants and beasts and mastodons, and to carry the Great Khali must have been a struggle.
The hardest job of his entire career, but I think it's actually a really good thing. Now the thing is, everyone, well, the majority of people are really annoyed that Jinder Mahal's the champion, and they absolutely hate the fact that Jinder Mahal's the champion. But does that then make him the most effective heel the company currently have?
Definitely.
Because you look at some of the other heels at the moment, like The Miz. The Miz is supposed to be going into WrestleMania as a heel, Cena's supposed to be going to WrestleMania as a face, and the crowd booed Cena the whole way through and were chanting for The Miz. That, in my opinion, makes Miz a bad... Well, it's not a bad heel, because he's not doing anything wrong. But he's not playing that heel role as they want him to. And I think that was what made Jinder Mahal great for it.
Because we was pretty much watching the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars, it again reminds me of the NWO, in the sense that these are supposed to be bad guys, but the crowd are cheering them. Yeah. Kevin Owens is supposed to be a heel. He's getting cheered. The problem is the tweener effect is killing the WWE as far as who is a face and who's a heel. Because every time you try and push someone one way, the crowd will reject it and not be happy. With the thing is with Jinder Mahal, it's natural heat. It's natural heat of the USA, and the chance that he'll get. It's just instant, like chic, Iron Sheik heat. Yeah. In the way that he makes one comment against the Americans, that's it. Natural heat, white heat, easy money, and he's the strongest one they've got. The only one they've got.
And I know a lot of people will be saying, oh, he's been jobbing for the last few years, how he's been given a championship straight away. But if you look at it logically, he's not won a single match in his run on his own. No. Every single match has had some skullduggery with the Singhs or all sorts, distracting people so Jinder can pick up the victory. And I don't think I'm the only person who's bloody glad that Randy Orton no longer has the belt, because that man bores the tits off me. He really does.
He's always been known as the boring ring general. You see, Triple H was a general, but he made it look a bit better and a bit quicker than Randy Orton. But I think I discussed this with you before. Jinder Mahal, with Rusev being injured, and they're obviously saving Corbin for SummerSlam. Right place, right time. And it's the same for JBL. When he took the title in 2004, Lesnar was gone, Goldberg was gone, Angle was in surgery. Who the hell can be a heel? JBL. There you go. Went from mid-card obscurity. He never jobbed because he was stiff as fuck in the ring. There's my first swear. He was stiff in the ring, had a good reputation, bit of a backstage politician. However, quick gimmick change. A obnoxious millionaire wore suits. What's Jinder Mahal doing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's your obnoxious heel.
This whole carpet thing when he gets out of his limo and stuff like that as well. But I quite like it. And the thing is, I want to know on SmackDown, right? Just what you saying about Baron Corbin just got me thinking. So you've got Jinder Mahal as the champion, super strong heel. You've got Baron Corbin, who apparently has been lined up for a championship run at some point this year. And based on what they've been doing promo-wise, it looks like Rusev's aiming for a championship match as well. That's 3 big heels going for the championship. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens are currently tied up for the United States belt and the Money in the Bank as well.
Yeah.
Ziggler's a heel as well. I think all of a sudden, SmackDown's gone from not many strong heels to having not many faces in that championship picture. And I would hate for Randy Orton just to win that belt back at Money in the Bank, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I wouldn't surprise me either. But I've got a sneaky suspicion, because obviously you see how strong that the Elimination Chamber is.
Yeah.
And what surprised me was that Baron Corbin lost a clean victory to Sami Zayn.
Oh, that really surprised me.
And if you're going to put someone on a run, you don't want it to be derailed by someone who's in the same spot as you. So that basically knocks you down, as if the ranking system, if there was a theoretical one in the WWE right now, is that you see the people in the Elimination Chamber, and you've got to think, as a face Shinsuke, who's never going to turn heel because he's so far over, you can't get him back to turn him as a bad guy. He's going to be the one who, I believe, could take the title away from Jinder. I don't think they're going to give it back to Randy Orton.
It's not Chamber, it's Money in the Bank, isn't it?
Money in the Bank. Sorry.
You nutter.
My apologies.
What I'm thinking now, actually, just while you were saying that, is if you've got the 6-man Money in the Bank one night, and you've got the championship match the same night, it wouldn't be completely out of it for WWE to give the Money in the Bank briefcase to someone, then that person to come out and cash it in straight away.
Again, if they do the rematch, because there's always the famous "I've got a rematch" clause.
They have announced it now. It is going to happen at Money in the Bank, the rematch. Yeah. But I'm not excited. I must admit, I wasn't excited for the match at Backlash, although I was when I heard that Jinder won.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for the match at Money in the Bank either, to be honest with you. I'm excited for the Money in the Bank match because they've literally picked the 6 best people on the roster, but that means now that they've got nobody else for the rest of the card, so what the rest of the Money in the Bank cards look like is a bit odd.
The problem is, for me, is that will they have that match go on last again? Because if they were to do a swerve in the sense that someone hands in their briefcase, they're going to have that match finish last again.
I think they will do. I think if they don't, then it takes away that little bit of... away that bit of sort of thinking that it could happen.
It's a good thing they're not trying this on SmackDown, because they'd lose the last quarter. And ratings are everything. Although SmackDown don't really need them right now compared to what Raw's going through.
Oh, Raw's struggling, yeah.
Raw's struggling big time. So the thing with SmackDown is they can take risks like this on their network production. Although it's still a pay-per-view, whilst it's on their network, they can go over laps on timing.
Yeah.
As we've shown with the NXT TakeOver, there must have been a lapse of around 24 minutes, approximately.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So that's the thing now, is that because they're producing it on their own their own network, they can go as long as they want.
Yeah, that killed me that day.
There's no time restraints. That's why WrestleManias of late have been 6-7 hours.
Yeah,
because there's no one to tell them that you've got a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and I think you're right. This wouldn't happen on Raw, and that's because the thing is, this is the reason why I enjoy SmackDown a lot more than Raw. Is that SmackDown is, as they say, the land of opportunity. Raw, you know for a fact that the same people are going to be involved in every championship picture going forward for the next year, probably next 12 months.
Yeah,
I can't see anybody new breaking into that. Maybe Braun Strowman at a stretch, but And SmackDown, now you literally now know you have no idea who could be in the picture. You've got Breeze Dango, the jobbing tag team, going for the tag team belts and really getting over right now.
Yeah.
And Jinder doing a fantastic job of the World Championship.
I personally think he's a transitional champion. So we'll end the note in the fact that I just believe he's in the right place at the right time. And he will be like Iron Sheik, not comparing him to him, is that Bob Backlund wouldn't drop the title to Hogan because he didn't believe he was a wrestler. The only person he'll drop it down to was Sheik. And then Hogan took it from Sheik. Jinder Mahal is a transitional champion. They're not going to give him a 6-9 month run. I can't see it happening. And I believe that the winner from the Money of the Bank will be, and not Elimination Chamber, will be taking that title from Jinder.
Yeah, I still like the idea. I saw this on Twitter the other day. Jinder Mahal is a SmackDown Live champion. Drew Galloway could potentially be going for the NXT Championship. If Heath Slater goes against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, we could have 3MB dominating WWE.
That's a scary thought. But when they all got released, did you actually take a step back and go, when these guys come back, you would never even thought they would get a chance again.
No.
But when these guys come back, they're going to take over the title scene.
Well, we always assumed that Drew was gonna do okay when he came back, because he went on the indie scene, went to TNA, and he really did develop. It wasn't necessarily his in-ring ability; it was more of his persona, more of his actual lifestyle, and just him mentally. He was a bit young at the time, wasn't he?
But the thing is, with Heath Slater, I know we're going on a tangent here, but Heath Slater must be doing something right at the company. Whilst Jinder and Drew got released, Heath kept a job, and he made a program with him trying to obtain a contract.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not genius booking.
Oh god, yeah. The thing is, it's
starring in movies. He's gone up in the world with his pool.
It's like people have said, like with the whole thing with Tyler Breeze at Backlash. The guy's doing so well at the moment. He managed to get a mop over.
Yeah.
And that just sums it up, doesn't it? Really, it's just what the crowd are hot on at the moment. And WWE have not been very good the last few years of actually jumping on what the crowd are hot on. But recently, they seem to have done it.
Yeah.
But have you got anything else you want to say on Jinder Mahal?
Not much, which is positive. So we'll try and end it without being negative.
Well, I hope he gets a decent run, but like I said, I don't think he's going to get a very long run. I think they'll milk it, get as much advertising and as much merchandise as they possibly can. But now, I think he will always be a main event player, just not necessarily the champion.
The things that you got to do to make India your number 2 brand in all of the universe.
The thing is, there's a crap ton of money out there.
There is, and the Indians, they go nuts for the WWE.
Yeah, I know. I've had a few abusive comments from Roman Reigns fans already. But there we go, guys. That's the end of this episode on Jinder Mahal. Let us know what you think in the comment section below of the Jinder Mahal run, and how long you think it will last, and what you think of the Sings. Do you think they might get a tag team shot at some point?
Quite possibly.
I hope so.
They could make a little faction, and the 2 guys from NXT.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. Jeet Rama and I can't remember what their name was,
but there could be some form of faction, and it's just going to be money.
And we said about Mustafa Ali as well. I know he's from Pakistan, but there's no reason why he couldn't involve himself in the feud. And it's not necessarily an Indian stable; it's an anti-American stable. So even Rusev could join in that theory.
You got the Daivari brothers. You could have had a tag team out of nothing there. True real life brothers.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. So let us know what you think in the comment section below. How they could either improve it, or if you think it's doing well. Do like and subscribe to the video if you have, and then we'll see you very soon for another episode of Shabby Talk. I'm going to try and upload 1 a week with PJ Tovey for as long as we can, as long as I can keep getting down here to record more. But yeah, I've been Shabby Gamer. I've been PJ Tovey. And we'll see you very, very soon for another episode of Shabby Talk. Bye. The ones who